This question is from Rachel from Tampa.
Great question, Rachel. How can lenders speed up the process? Time is everything, and most loans take 90 days to process. That seems like a long time for someone trying to start a business that already has a blueprint and can just go and obviously trying to close the deal. Waiting 90 days. I mean, you've just waited that 14-day period, and now any suggestions on that one?
Rachel, thank you for your question. It's a very, very good question. And biggest thing, and I can take off my banker hat now. As I say, Michael, I'm a recovering banker. I'm now in the franchise world. I'm no longer the banker. You've got to understand where the bank's coming from. The biggest thing is they look for where the deal could fall apart and where their exposure is. And so my answer to that is there's never a time that's too early to get started working with either, funding partner, bank, someone that's going to, keep you accountable on what you can do to improve the process. My answer to that is let's start at the end and think of all the things you need in order to close that loan. What I always tell folks when we're getting started, get started on your life insurance. We know that's going to be a 30-day process. You don't have to wait on that, nor do you have to make a payment on that life insurance policy, and you can start that early. Also, get your bids in. We just talked about that early from your contractor, particularly, and I think this is kind of like our last question. When you have a construction component, you're going to have to basically be what we call permit ready. And that means, the plans have been approved by the city. You've got the full scope of your project and you're ready to go. The worst thing you could have would be to, be waiting on approval from the city. So if you have your blueprints, get them into the city. Those need to be ready to go, because what happens with the bank is they're wanting to make sure there's no gotchas from the city. And I will tell you, anybody who has done construction lending, you have that inspector that's going to come out, and you don't want that to be a situation where things need to be changed.